so good to be with you, even if it's just like this. It's good to be together, isn't it? Even virtually. You know, the Lord didn't make us for isolation. He made us for community. The scripture says he puts the lonely in families. So there's a reason that we're all a little, well, maybe off kilter, out of sorts. If you feel any of those things, it's for a good, normal reason. Well, Jeff's been telling me a little bit about what's going on with all of you. I want you to know how proud I am of you guys. You rock. I love you guys. I know you might be thinking, what did someone tell her that she thinks we rock? I'm not rocking. No, you are rocking. If you have not yet thrown in the towel, I'm talking to you. You rock. You have heard and responded to the call of the Good Shepherd, knowing that it wasn't to seek anything that was your own, but to seek his desires and his purposes and his people who have yet to come into the kingdom. And as such, very often are not very fun to be around. So, good job. Way to go. Thank you for hanging in there and persevering for the sake of the elect, enduring all things for the sake of the elect. You know, this is a really strange time. None of us, no one in the world has ever seen anything like this. It is a worldwide crisis, surpassing even the world wars, which only limited countries were involved in. But this is something that is affecting every continent and almost every country on the globe. The Lord is certainly doing something. We don't know what it is. I'm not even going to try to speculate about what it is. But it is something significant. No, I'm not saying he is doing this pandemic or anything like that. That's not what I mean. I just mean that in the midst of this, he is stirring up the peoples and stirring up individuals. About 9, 10, 11 years ago, the Lord spoke to Steve really strongly through Psalm 110, verse 3. It says, your people will volunteer freely in the day of your power. In holy array from the womb of the dawn, your youth are to you as the dew. Now, if you read this in different translations, they render it differently. It's a little hard to know what some of the phrases are in there, what they actually mean. But that part, your people will volunteer freely, but that literally, the literal translation is, your people will be a free will offering in the day of your power. Now, there are lots of offerings that are discussed in the Old Testament. There are sin offerings and guilt offerings and all these different offerings that the people were required to make. But a free will offering was just what it sounds like. They didn't make it because they were supposed to or because they had to. They made a free will offering because their hearts moved them. You remember that one time when the people brought so much for the construction of the temple that they had to be restrained and told, no, don't bring any more. Well, this is that idea that your people will be a free will offering in the day of your power. In holy array from the womb of the dawn, your youth are to you as the dew. I want to share with you what Charles Spurgeon said about this verse. He said, in consequence of the sending forth of the power of the gospel, converts will come forward in great numbers to enlist under the banner of King Jesus. Given to him of old, they are his people. And when his power is revealed, they hasten with cheerfulness, appearing at the gospel call, as it were, spontaneously, even as the dew comes forth in the morning. Just as the dew has a sparkling beauty, so these willing armies of converts have a holy excellence and charm about them. And as the dew is the lively emblem of freshness, so are these converts full of vivacity and youthful vigor, and the church is refreshed by them and made to flourish exceedingly. Now, why am I bringing that up? Because 10-ish years ago, this was so on Steve's heart that this was what the Lord was going to do, that he was going to stir things up to the degree that his people would just volunteer freely, be a free will offering, just showing up, just more than can be counted, and specifically youth, young people. So I just want to encourage you guys, coming out of all of this, we don't know how long we're going to continue to be in isolation, in some countries more than others. But pay attention to what the Lord is doing. It's not necessary for you to try to stir something up. He has already stirred things up. All that is necessary is to see where he's working and to walk in step with him. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's join our King. Let's not give up in doing good, for in due time we will reap if we don't grow weary. I love you, brothers and sisters. Bye-bye.